Hi everyone. Good evening. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you've been catching up with all that we've been learning together. If you guys have any questions, any queries for all the work that we've done so far, please feel free to drop a comment around that. I think there's some electricity issue on my part. That's okay. I'll just turn off the video. Okay, I think Bhavya has added the hex code for the boat company's logo. Okay, yes, Bhavya. I think we will be getting to the poster design in the second half of our session today. And you can drop in this hex code again then. Does anybody else have any doubts, any queries regarding anything that we've discussed so far? Any doubt? Has anybody done any research or started designing something based on the tools that we've used? Guys, please make sure that this is an interactive session. Okay, I think there are no queries as of now. So I'm just going to quickly present my screen. And we will start with our first task for the day, which is drawing shapes out of an image or any asset. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to everybody. Can you quickly confirm in the chat? For the shortcut notes, I think we had shared it yesterday in the yesterday's session. Okay, my screen is visible. Thank you so much for confirming. Let me just minimize this. Okay, so how do we, trace out our subject from any image or any asset? I mean, there is a very classic solution, which is my selection tool, object selection. It does let me trace out my entire design from here, and I can just select it, right click, layer via copy, and as you can see, it has been copied from the original layer. But what if I see that a lot of students have not been using the most recent version of this? So there are two ways to go about it. One is using your pen tool. You can just, for example, let me just show you this over here. You can just quickly make these tracings over here. This is option one. Now, how do we use pen tool? So right click, you see pen tool. There is free form, curvature, adding anchor, deleting anchor, and converting point tool. So how does any of this work? So going back, let me just remove what I've done. Clicking on P gives me access to my pen tool. So when I click on one point in my design and I go somewhere a little farther away and I click again, you can see that this line has been drawn. The two dots have been connected through the pen tool. But what if I want something that is a little curved? It has a lot of, rounded edges around it. So what I'm going to do is undo this. So I tap here and I hold my key. So you can see that two lines with circles on their ends have been created. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to actually, unless I want some curves around this area also, I am going to drop my second point and hold and then create. As you can see that as I'm rotating the anchor point, the shape is changing along with that, right? So let's just put this to an actual use. Also, in order to, so maybe the handle that I've created, these are called handles. Maybe I want to change the direction. For now, I created this. So, but the next curve that was supposed to be in this line. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down control or command, move this anchor downstairs so that going back, okay, so when I've done this, now if I go over here, I can see that my shape has been taken in this direction, in the bottom left direction, right? But what if I had not done that? You can see that there would have been a slightly bumpy road that might have been created over here, right? Adding and deleting anchor. So when I'm on this line, right, and this is my pen tools direction that I've been taking. And as you can see from this point, these are the solid fill colors. As I hover on them, these are my anchor points. When I click on any anchor point, you can see that the pen tool has a different icon at the bottom right side of it. It is a minus sign right now. What it's going to do if I click on it, it's going to remove that anchor point. But if I click on it again, as you can see, because there is no anchor point over here right now, this means that I can add something over here. I can remove an anchor point and I can delete an anchor point. So keep that in mind. Again, holding down control or command, I can move these handles or my anchor point through this, right? So I think this is clear. Let's just try to trace something out with the use of pen tool. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna go about it. I'm going to quickly, so the mistake that I did right now was that I took gaps a little too far away from each other, right? When we have maybe rather straight lines, we can take long gaps, but when we are tracing something, especially human or an animal body, which has a lot of curves, so I think it is ideal that we use something that is, we use anchor points that are close to each other, right? So this is how I'm gonna go about tracing my entire design. So, okay, I think rather than going through all of this, I'm just going to quickly end this from here. I'm going to just make this into a selection and uh, making a selection. So as you can see, it has been copied. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my lasso tool, layer via copy. So as you can see that the outer part has been selected right now. Whatever I had selected, the opposite of it has been selected. What I'm going to do in this case is right click, select inverse. And now this part of the selection has been taken into consideration. So what I'm going to do now is layer via copy, right, by clicking on the right click button, and that part has been created. It has been taken out of this image that I had previously collected. Otherwise, you can also definitely use the magnetic lasso tool, which again works a little similar to this, but then, you know, as your hand moves, there is a chance for mistakes. So for example, if I have created the selection, but as you can see that it does not really have that much of a precision. So what I'm going to do in this case is hold down Alt. Alt is for removing parts from your selection. Shift is to add part to your selection. I hope everybody is noting these things down. They are very important. Again, these shortcuts are quite important. Now what I'm doing is I'm removing parts from the selection that I do not want. Okay, what I've done now is I think I have this much area that I can right click, layer via copy, and this part is done, right? So these are the two tools that you guys can use if you do not have the upgraded version of Photoshop. If you're not using a licensed product, which I definitely highly recommend that you do purchase a subscription, because a lot many tools, for example, object selection, I don't really have to do any of this. If I have my background layer selected, I click on this and all of this is selected for me. Or if I want to maybe give you an example of generative fill, so what I'm going to do is take out my lasso tool and actually wait, I think we can do something different. For this, I'm going to select inverse. I'm going to select anything that is on the outside of this dog and a park with trees. Okay. So again, the AI feature that Photoshop has, it has been doing wonders, and that is something that you guys will miss out on if in case you do not have the updated version. So as you can see, I mean, I understand that the image they have created for us might not be the right fit for this, because we will have to make a lot of adjustments in this image of the dog to make it match the background. But again, this is just an example of all the tools that you guys are missing out on if you do not have the updated version. So again, just to recap, we can use object selection, but if you do not have this version which has this feature object selection tool, you can always do it from magnetic lasso tool or trace it through your pen tool. Okay, I hope this is clear to everybody. Does anybody have any questions around this? I'm going to quickly head to the comment section again. How to convert black and white to color image. Okay, we'll cover that in today's session. Okay. All right, so this is done. Another thing a lot of people had asked me about was how to create image in image, right? How to add or kind of give this illusion of double exposure is, I think, what it's called. And a lot of people had queries around that. So let me just turn on my camera again. We have electricity now. Okay, so another feature is double exposure tool. Okay, so let's begin. I'm just going to actually take this in a different layer. Okay, I think this was hidden. Okay, all right. So primarily what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this layer by Control J. Going to lock the layer behind and selecting my primary layer, going to selection tool, object selection, right? It is just that easy. I don't really have to do a lot of tracing in order to get this done. So this time what I'm going to do is remove this layer. Now I have my background and I have my foreground, which is the same girl in this picture. All right. Another thing that I need to do is maybe add this city image, right? This is the image that I want. I'm going to just quickly drag and drop here, resize it so that it fits the height of my subject. I'm going to just put this in, I'm not going to show this layer for now because I don't really have any use for that right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mask to this, right? Now what this is going to do actually, I'm going to just quickly hide this as well. The background layer, it does not have any use for me right now. I just needed it for the reference to see what kind of colors are going on in the background if I want to add something different to that. I'm going to just quickly hide that. And for this, I'm going to just reduce the opacity of this image a little bit. And this is my blending mode, right? This is how I can see what type of foreground or background is ideal for me. For example, moving to screen or color dodge, I think, is something that probably looks nice, right? So if in case I want some colors to pop out, I can use this. Otherwise, I have multiple options. If I want a little darker theme, I can play around with the color or saturation. Otherwise, I have a variety of options. For example, this looks a little artistic, right? I mean, this looks a little bold, not your regular poster design or image manipulation. But I think color dodge is the right option for us right now. And okay, another thing what I'm going to do right now is because I don't really need this excess part, what I'm going to do is click on erase, and it is going to ask me to rasterize this image before I convert it. So I have done that. Now I'm going to keep some sort of hardness and maybe reduce the size of my brush over here. Okay, now I need to remove this extra part. Maybe reduce the hardness a little bit more, because I want a softer effect around the lady's outline. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove some extra part around her. As you can see, only the building is getting removed because that is the layer that I have selected, right? It is already at 75% opacity in color dodge blending style. So I keep on removing this, and maybe with a smaller brush size, we can remove some elements near the outline. We can deal with that later on. But this is just a quick hack to kind of, work around something if you want to create something a little artistic, a little different than your average image manipulation. So you can definitely do that. Now, zooming in a little bit and reducing the brush size. Now, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm going to just remove the layer a little bit from this side. Not enough to actually make much of an impact right now, but I do want sort of like some clean area around my design. So as you can see, a lot of effects on Photoshop do consume some time, but it is always better to go the extra mile, especially when it comes to designing. I mean, we cannot really call ourselves designers and be a little lazy with our work. That just does not cut it, because everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different mindset as compared to what is an ideal design, what does how many features or manipulation should your design have. So I think it's definitely, it is going to make you stand out from the crowd if in case you do decide to go the extra mile and add multiple manipulations to your design or assets to your design. So this is one. Now I can see that the hand has been, cropped a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly click on this mask that I had created and change the color over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, wait, I think, yeah. So what I've done here now is, okay, wait, I think I had gone back to a couple of elements from here. Okay, so as of now, I want to remove this part, the hand that is extra right now. And I click on my mask and I remove it, because it is a sleeve. It does not really look like it's a part of the image all that much, right? But what I do need to do now is also remove this asset from this image over here. So as you can see, this looks a lot better now. And if you want to remove this extra hair on top, again, going to the clipping mask, I'm going to just quickly remove all of that also. So this is how you create a double exposure in your design. Okay, I think I'm overdoing it in the wrong direction now. Also, my brush tool should not have this much softness, basically. I think that is something that I could have changed. Going back, I could change. Now I need to add a background to this. How do I do that? Double tap. My layer style has been opened, not gradient overlay. That was an accidental click. I just need to add a softer color in the background. Right. Okay. Okay. I think I had to have a solid fill first, which is this one. Right. So once I've done all of this, maybe I can just remove this layer first, this layer as well, the background, and I need to flatten this in order to actually kind of create some depth so that it looks like it belongs, to the background. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, okay, unlock this, move it up, filling the background. Okay, as you can see, because I had flattened it, so the mask has been created as the background. Okay, that is something that, okay, of course, undo can always help us with that. But okay, all right. So if in case I had to bring this image back, you can see that the double exposure has been created over here. Now we're just going to add some final touches to this, which is because this is a raster image, I think I can't really make this change. I'm going to just convert it into a raster image right now. Okay, I think this should work. Okay, I have the top layer. Because of that, it's not working. Anyways, I think this kind of sums up everything, how to go about creating a double exposure file. If you have any queries, you can drop a message in the chat, or maybe go back and rewatch and trace all the steps that we've taken today. Okay, I think I'm going to just save this as double exposure 2. Okay, all right. I think we've covered half the session. Guys, if you have any queries, if you have any masking would have made this easy, yes, definitely. Okay. Any other queries? Anything else that you guys want me to explain? You used okay. So I had used the masking to remove part of the hand of the lady that was originally created in my selection tool. So if I had not created it, if I had not selected that part, I could have changed it at that time. But because I had taken a couple of steps, I did not really want to undo it. So that is why, in order to change this shape, I had added a masking tool for this, just to give you an idea. Okay, I think, guys, we can head to our uh, assignment now, which was a poster design. Boat is launching a new pair of headphones. It comes in 4 colors: red, yellow, blue, and white. The price is INR 999. It has some features, and we have to stick to Boat's brand guideline. Right. So, okay, this is something that I was playing around with. We're not gonna take this in reference right now. We're just gonna create the design from scratch. I'm going to just take my standard favorite setup, which is 1000 by 1000 and 300 resolutions. Background color is white, designing in pixels, and start. Okay. Right. So I think some of you had given me a hex code for boats colors. Can you quickly add them back in the chat so we can kind of create a palette for ourselves right now? And let's see how accurate we are in defining those palettes. Meanwhile, I'll just bring up boat logo. So another tip is when we are searching for logos, it is very important that we use PNGs, right? Transparent background. So what you can do is go to Tools, Color, Transparent. So all the logos, all the images that you're gonna find now are going to be of transparent background. So I'm just going to quickly drop this over here, and I'm also going to take a white version of this because I'm not sure if I want to have a white background or a dark background right now. I just might put the logo at the bottom left or top center or top left. I don't know what the background is going to be like. So heading to the comment section. Uh, Cloning or masking, which is basically are two very different use cases. Cloning is to replicate that cluster of pixel from one side to another. I mean, if you refer to our, I think, second day's session, we had cloned the dog that we had used. We had cloned his left ear and put it on the right side instead of the kind of droopy ear. So cloning is used for that. Masking is if you have an image and you want to alter a particular part of it. If you want to maybe change something in a specific area, that is where masking is used for. Uh, okay, okay. All right. Let me just see if this is the right hex code for that. I'm going to just quickly fill this up. This looks like a different hex code. Are you sure you have it right? Then there is this one. Let's see what it looks like. I think this is not it as well. And any other? I think somebody had mentioned it before. Then there is okay this guys. I hope it is clear. No, these are not the right colors. I hope it is clear. How do we determine the hex codes, right? So for example, I have this container with me. I have this box with me. So how am I going to determine what is the shade, what is the hex code of this red color? For this, I'm going to click on I, and my color picker opens up, and I'm just going to click on this. So if you have an image that is pixelated, I mean, as you can see, this area is pixelated, right? Because obviously I have zoomed in a lot, but just for your reference, if you have to take a color, if you have to pick a color from an image that is very pixelated, try not to go for the outer pixels for that. Try to go for a darker shade, a shade that is more widely used, right? So for example, I'm going to not pick something from here. As you can see that the hex code is FC1E26. But if I go here, you're gonna see that the shade might have changed. The previous one was FC1E2A or something like this, right? But this one is EB1C24. So this is the hex code that I have gotten from this logo, right? So this is what my base color is going to be, because I think their overall branding revolves around these three colors, right? Now, just to confirm if the black that I am using, which is pitch black, is it the same as the logos? I'm just going to quickly go and click here. I think this is the 00000 shade, right? This is the right color. Okay, I think we have our palette ready with us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to maybe increase uh, this area with regards to uh, I'm going to make this as my background. Why did I do this? I think the primary reason behind it is because this post is about the launch of a product, right? And the product is going to be in multiple colors, as we had seen. We have to show that it comes in four colors: red, yellow, blue, and white. So I think it is ideal that we do not take any chances. And so if I had a red headphone over here, it would just completely blend with the background. It would not stand out. So maybe what I need to do now is create a white box over here as well. Okay, just bear with me. I should have changed the color from here first. Did not do that. Oh well, I'm going to change it now. So this is the box that I want my design to be in. My headphone has to be in the center of this. So just to align, make sure that these two elements are aligned, what I'm going to do is selecting my background and selecting the white box on top, go to align and make it centrally aligned. But maybe I don't really want it because this is where I want to keep my messaging, right? So I'm just going to lock this layer and lock this layer, and I'm going to move it down. So now you can see that this logo looks a little too bland. It does not really have all the brand colors, which is black and red. I need to at least have one brand color resonating, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this logo. Let's focus on this part right now. So I need to change this red color into white if I want to put it on top, right? Oh, just a second. If I want to put it over here at the center or maybe on the left so that my user kind of understands. Because the top part of any social media poster, any sort of design is your premium real estate, right? So I want to do that. And in order to do that, I need to change this color of A, and I don't really have access to their logo version in which this color is white. This red color is white. Again, guys, we need to make sure that whatever changes we are doing in brand sensitive materials, especially something like a logo, it is important to make sure that we are not violating any brand guidelines. So because I don't really work for both, and I'm not really sure what their brand guidelines are, and this is just to give you guys an idea of how we do this manipulation in small assets like logo or something. This is just an exercise that we are doing. And but again, if you are working with a company or if you are working with a client that has their specific brand guidelines, it is very important that we stick to those. Okay, so for this, what we've done is I have selected the logo and I have gone to quick selection, and I have, let me just do it again, gone to quick selection, and I have selected this part of the logo, just the red part. And as you can see that some parts have not been selected properly, which can maybe be an issue for me later on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to add, and sorry, I was clicking on something else. So I'm holding down shift and I am going over the pixels that I think the tool had initially missed, double checking everything. And okay, I think everything is covered. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my brush tool, increase the hardness, and I'm going to fill this white, changing the color. I'm going to fill this all white. Okay, so whatever changes I've made, I have made in this original file. So because it is going on a red background, so it's okay if some of the layers, some of the lines are visible in the back. That's all right. Now you can see this looks a little more, sensible to put over here. So I'm going to just reduce the size a little bit, and I'm going to move it to the left and top. Right. So if you guys are maybe not so comfortable with what sort of margin to take, I think it is always easy to take a reference of another social media post, because at the end we do need to learn from practice. So you can just kind of see how much gap that they're taking, or is there a specific design standard for a particular industry. For example, if we are designing something for a healthcare sector, any product or any service. For example, if you're designing something for a hospital and they have launched a new MRI machine, I mean, I would not personally want to, use a font that is a little too fancy for them, right? For example, this is not the kind of font that I would use for a restaurant, for a sorry, a hospital, maybe for a restaurant, but probably not for hospital. So the fonts, the colors, the messaging that they are using, the images that you're using, all of that has to resonate with the industry that you're using it for, right? So science or hospitals, these are like something that's like a little serious, right? I can't really use Comic Sans over there. But when it comes to boat, I mean, this is a brand that actively is working towards resonating with the new generation, energizing, budget friendly products. That is all, what they're about. So I think it's okay if we choose something a little jazzy for this, especially, we're using such bold colors, red being the background. So I think it's okay for brands like this. But then again, you have to know your target audience, and you have to know, of course, the brand regulations and, whoever you're working for. So maybe I think the corners for this box a little too harsh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull down on the anchors and see if I can make the edges a little softer. When I have selected this and it is a smart object, you can see that some small circles have come over here. I'm going to double click on this and also give a drop shadow around it. Okay, so you can see that it has given me a little something. Maybe the distance is a little much. I'm going to just reduce all of this. I think the size is a little much as well. So, okay, I think this seems fine. I'm just going to lock this again. Okay, now I need to put in an image. I'm going to go to sites like Pexels or FreePic or Unsplash. These are a couple of sites that let you download the assets royalty free. I think, but for FreePic, what you have to do is every time you download a free file, you have to write somewhere, maybe in the caption or on the image itself, that downloaded from FreePic. I think you have to give attribution to the site. So if you do not want to do that, you can, download your assets from Pixels or Unsplash or some similar sites. Okay. Headphones. Let's search for some headphones. Okay, I think this is okay, but it has a wire. One of our features is that it's a wireless headphone. I think this is a good one. I can download it, go back to my file, downloads, and I'm going to paste this. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I don't really need the background for this image. So I'm going to click on remove background. And as you can see, again, Photoshop has done this job for me beautifully. Now what I want to do is I want to add some drop shadow to this, right? I want to give it some depth. So I go to my layer panel and I now see what type of shadow do I want. Do I want to change the direction? Is that something that will make my design a little more impactful? And as you can see, this funny thing that I just noticed, that the shadow of the box, as I change the angle, the shadow of the box is also changing. I mean, this is so cool. So I think Photoshop finally recognized that in most of the designs, there is a basic problem that I have personally made a lot of many times. That is that when designing, we try to add depth through drop shadows, but we forget that there cannot be multiple sources of light, right? If the sun is over here, the shadow is going to fall over here, right? But because it looks aesthetically nice, what we often do is one shadow is going over here, one shadow is going over there. So I think this is a very neat feature that I just realized, that Photoshop is letting me control the shadow of all the assets in my design, which is quite nice. Okay. So I think this is the kind of composition that I want to have. Opacity 18, distance, spread, size, all of this is sorted. I'm going to just let this be now. I'm maybe going to, okay, I think I went a little too far. Going on. Okay, so as you can see that Photoshop did not, in the remove background feature, it did not quite remove this area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select my layer mask that it had created, and I'm going to change the foreground color to black, because black is uh, because this color is already inverted is why it's working in the opposite manner. I'm going to just reduce the hardness so that it does not look uh, fake. So I'm just, again guys, another thing that I use is this Bootcamp tab. It does help me a lot in creating designs, or especially doing tasks like maybe creating a brush stroke, or removing something that I'm doing right now. With mouse, I think it's a little tricky, and I do not ideally prefer using a mouse. And if you do want to, I think, give this kit a try, you definitely can. They have their own set of drivers and everything. So I think it's going to be a pretty neat experience for you to go through. And okay, I think this looks nice to me. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just reduce the size of this image so that it comes over here like this. And okay, now I need to place my messaging, but I'm thinking that maybe I can just keep my design something like this and have something like this. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I think uh, most of you can agree that a designer is almost never satisfied with whatever they're creating. So all the effort that we had put into our board logo, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to look for the boat logo again. I think we can use the standard logo now. Okay, I'm just going to place it here. It has the same color. Resizing the image hold by holding down shift. So that is something that you guys can make a note of. Right. So another thing that I'm going to do, which did not really work for me yesterday, was adding text to a curved line. So let's see if I get lucky today. And I did not really get a chance to check it out why that was not working yesterday. I hope it does today. Oh, great, it does. Okay, so new launch, newly launched. So this is the content that I want to put, and I kind of want to make it seem like it's hugging the shape of the earphones. So okay, let me just walk you guys through what I had done right now. I just simply created a curved shape with my pen tool, clicked on T, and as I go to the near the first starting point, you can see that the text icon has changed and now there is a curve on it, right? Simply clicking on that, it adds curve to the shape that I had created, the free shape that I had created. Now clicking on centrally aligned, changing the font to something that is a little more readable, maybe Siloam regular, and rewriting newly launched. Right. So maybe I think sentence case is not the right fit. Maybe I wanted to be a little more focused. So making it all caps and changing the color to red, or maybe changing the color half to red and half to black. Maybe not. I think the whole color could be black for now. I'm not too satisfied with the font that I've used right now, but I think we can come back to that later on. Let me just increase the size for now. And okay, or maybe I will just change it later on. I'm not sure. Now, another thing that I need to highlight over it, I don't think I like it. I'm so sorry, guys. I think it's just an experience for you to learn how to add text to a curved line. I'm just going to add it here in simple text and maybe align it with the image at the bottom. Okay, it just moved my entire place, but that's okay. I think, yeah, this is centrally aligned now. So I'm going to just lock this again, reduce the size of my headphones, and maybe lock this layer and the logo as well. I'm going to actually group them and then lock them. Okay, this was the previous layer. I'm going to just make it visible. Okay, my group is locked. I'm going to remove this, add the original logo here in the group, dragging it down, closing my group, labeling it as images. This is my card. This is my background. And newly launched is the text that I have selected. But maybe I want something that resembles the boat logo's text a little more. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a geometric font or something that does not have so many curves in it. I think Vivis is a good font. I think we can definitely use this. Okay, so I'm going to just stretch it out instead of like changing the size from this side. I think this this seems a little quicker for me. And because the color of the headphones is not exactly all black, it is like a fading shade of black from gray to black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a color from here so that this text does not seem like too in the face. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to do is add the pricing. I think we had a couple of other features that we needed to cover: the colors, the pricing, and some features. Okay. All right. Heading back. So I think for the colors, what we can do is maybe have some sort of color rectangles over here. So I ideally would not want to keep multiple designs of headphones in different colors because one, it is going to be very small. Two, it's going to be visible on the phone, which is going to make it very difficult for the user to actually understand what the yellow colored headphone looks like. It's going to be just this small because I primarily want them to focus on this product. So I think it is better that we give them a shade card instead of actually showing what the product is, what it looks like. So that is one approach for this. We have red, we have black, and I think we also had blue. So I'm going to change the color in the middle to blue. So these are our palettes, right? So now how do we make it look like, that this is what the product is available in? So I'm just going to keep it like this, and available colors. Now let me see if I can find that setting. Probably won't, but I am sure I can come back to you on this. There is a feature that lets you arrange the alphabets horizontally or vertically. So I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just individually move them in this manner. It is a little cumbersome, a little tiring, but that's okay. Uh, we should not, always be looking for shortcuts. But okay, so this is what we have now. Available colors. I think this looks fine to me. This makes sense. Now I need to work around the pricing, right? So I need to talk about the 999 pricing. How do I do that? Firstly, I'm just going to create a group of all of this. This is my colors, and I need to add the pricing somewhere in the center. I think this is the perfect real estate for that. And how am I going to do that? I think I want to make something that looks a little handwritten. Maybe something with a brush. Let's see how that works out. It might not work out, guys, honestly. I don't remember the last time I checked it. But okay, this is very poorly done. I think what we can do is we can just simply go for a font this time and look for a font that looks handwritten. Okay, I have a lot of options and I'm going to go for something. Okay, maybe not this, but maybe we can check some more options from the site. I think we're gonna have to go back to sans serif and look for a sample design. I think this random font looks good to me. And maybe I can add a rupee symbol in front of it, right? Uh, okay. Another effect that if I want to add something to it, I can. I can add some noise around it, noise to this, or maybe through this area, or maybe I can add some outer glow to it to get more focus on this. Okay. Uh, okay. I think this looks fine. And another thing that we need to cover now is, I think, some of the features. So what we can do for that is we can maybe have some small icons scattered every which where, because our design overall is looking a little minimal. So I think that's fine. What we can do is just replicate this, and maybe we can move these assets to this area. Maybe we can spread them out horizontally instead of this vertical design, and then we can maybe add some features around it. Okay, I think we should stop at this point. And if you guys have any suggestions on how to make this design better, I think we can take some time out tomorrow and kind of implement some of your feedback in this. Whatever you guys have in store on how to improve this particular design. This is as far as I could take you with this. And if you want to add something to this, I can definitely create a shareable link with you all, and you guys can share your own versions. You can just maybe upload your own versions in that drive. Again, this is not an assignment, this is just an activity that I want all of you to engage in. And yeah, we can take it from there. If you guys have any questions, I haven't checked the comments a lot today, but okay, how to convert black and white to color image. Okay, I think this is something that we can cover in tomorrow's session. And give mirror effect. Okay. How to do broken mirror effect or multi-phase. Okay. Okay. Uh, all right. I think QR code, yes, definitely. I think in most of the posters or designs that we create these days, brands find it easier to redirect the user from point one to their website, and this is definitely a very good idea. So thank you for that. Price is not looking good. Yes, I understand. I might need to go to my font repository and look for a better approach for this. Okay. Right features on bottom, right price tag using a tag. Yes, yes, that's a good option. Yes, I think we can implement all of that tomorrow, or maybe you guys can share your version of this design tomorrow. Uh, okay, use glitch for headphones colors. Okay, yeah, that's a very good idea. Yeah, the tool that you're using for designing in Photoshop. Okay, no, there's no assignment. This is just for you guys to kind of understand how to use these features. And okay, can you make a logo using Photoshop for random company in tomorrow's session? So as I had mentioned that you can use pin tool for that. If you guys want me to quickly trace something, yeah, I think we can cover that in tomorrow's session. Okay, all right. I think this is all. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.